All right, we should be live. We are back. We're in the finale of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It feels like it's gone by way too quickly. We are missing a member. We're without JC. We've got Sleepy Becky is back. We got Voice of Old Town, aka Ricky. I'm always back. And yeah, we're here to review and talk about the finale. So I'll go over to you, Becky, because I know you're getting super chats and all that, so you can address it. But also, what were your general thoughts on the finale?
So, firstly, thank you to Awesome Sauce for super chats. I hope you have a good sleep. Um, I'm very jealous, but thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So, the thoughts on this season finale. Obviously, it's very, very fresh, but I think generally my thoughts are positive. I think it was quite a mellow episode, but that's what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting any action. I was expecting just wrapping things up, conversations, maybe setting up a little bit for season two. I wasn't expecting that we were going to see really any of Sir Arlen, so he was a nice surprise. And yeah, I think it was just interesting. I'm interested with how much they put in, like Raymond Fossaway. I didn't expect him to be in this episode so much. Like for the season finale, for him to have so much screen time, I really wasn't expecting. But I feel like that was where they added a lot of their humor. Like that, it's classic that this show has to have humor. That's their turn, and I feel like they brought a lot of that humor through Raymond Fossaway in this episode and the opening scenes with Lionel Baratheon and the Maester. That made me chuckle. So yeah, overall, my thoughts on it are feeling pretty positive. But it's still very, very fresh. What do you guys think?
Ricky, you can go next.
I think I liked it overall. I really liked the setup for the future of the show, or just depending on how far they go. But there's a lot of setup that we're probably going to get into when we talk about more spoilery stuff down the stream. I really like the scene with Maka and Dunk, and the first one, and the scene of Dunk and Valar at the funeral. So yeah, it's a slower paced episode. I really like the very personal kind of scenes where people are just reflecting on what just happened. I think that's always great because those are some of the scenes that when you remember back in Game of Thrones, that was what made it, what made you care about these characters. So I always like it when an episode takes its time to reflect on what we've just seen as a viewer. There are a few things that I didn't really like or get, like the Dunk confirmation. I think that's a bit on the nose. But I get why it's in there because gotta make it appealing for a broader audience and clarify things. I guess I would have liked it if it just stayed ambiguous. But yeah, overall a good episode. What about you, Eric? Grease the
I want to
Cruel.
say this. I want to say this right away. I want to give them a lot of credit because they had to turn basically 7 to 8-ish pages of the novella into 30 minutes. That is not something I would have, wanted to do. And so I think they did a very good job throughout most of the episode and just adding scenes or making it to where it was compelling. This could have very easily have been, 10 minutes and then we're done. And I think they did a really good job with the added scenes. I liked a lot of the stuff with the start of it with like Lionel. As Becky mentioned, I liked Raymond in this episode quite a lot. He was very enjoyable. He was the Chad of the episode. He got like the kind of the happy ending. So good for him, I guess. I liked a lot about this episode in terms of the writing. It's very similar to what Ricky was talking about with, like, for instance, you have the Red Wedding. The next episode's a lot of reflection. It's a lot of characters reacting to it, and how does that move the story forward? So I thought a lot of that was great. I'm kind of in the same vein with Ricky, where I probably need to sleep on some of this stuff a little bit more, and I'll have more of a complete thought on it. But I did walk away with the episode a little disappointed, just from basically the very end, because I really
Mm.
liked Makar in this episode. It finally felt more like the book character, and I think the actor does a fantastic job throughout the entire episode. I just don't like the idea that Makar, and this will lead into a discussion we'll have about Makar, is he doesn't ever really give the the blessing of Egg go with Dunk in the way that we see in the show and also the novella. And then, I kind of also was on the idea that I didn't really love the idea that Arlen just kind of comes out and says, oh, yeah, or I guess I should say Dunk saying to Arlen that, why didn't you knight me? I felt it was a little bit on the nose. I kind of like keeping it a little bit ambiguous. In the book, it's not the most ambiguous thing in the world, but you never are told straight up. So, I thought overall a pretty good episode. I just was, I think, a little disappointed by my favorite character of this Targaryen family at the time and being Maekar. But so I guess that's a good segue into, I think, which will be the main talking point of the episode, is Maekar. So Ricky, I want to go back to you because you warned us about this. Go a little bit more in depth on your thoughts on the Maekar ending part of this episode.
It really threw me off guard at first because I was like, okay, it's meant to be a funny little moment, but the implications are, if a prince is missing, you send out like a fucking party, a host of I don't know, 500 people go up and search for him, and I guess they took creative freedom, because in the novella it's like Egg is walking up. It's kind of similar, right? It's still Egg walking up being like, I am to serve you, and they're like, well, is he to serve him, or did he just run off? And then I don't know, I guess along the way, if anything, I think it means that we will probably see Maekar in season 2 as well, in a little scene or something, that shows us giving his blessing. Because if not, I don't know. Those are the kind of butterflies, right?
Yes. all I'll say on that before I ask Becky is just, it poses questions that I don't think needed to be posed. We're at the finale of the season. I feel like we could have just, had that nice character arc for Maekar like that's in the novella. But Becky, I'll go to you. What did you think about Maekar? You can talk about throughout the episode, but also the ending on, him in the finale.
Yeah, so I feel similar. Like, I'm not 100% keen on him not really knowing where his son is and also not giving that blessing. But I also feel like they've maybe done that so that they've got more to put into season 2, because we've spoken before without spoilers for the second novella. It's a lot slower in terms of the plot, and I feel like they're gonna need to add stuff. I feel like it's gonna be the novella where they're gonna change it the most, and I feel like they will have done this Maekar thing for a reason, so that he could reappear maybe in season 2 with extra scenes, new scenes with Dunk and Egg, and maybe we do have scenes of like everybody searching for him, because he is a prince. If he's gone missing, then they're going to go out and look for him. So I feel like maybe that was like a tactical thing that they've done to give them more to put into season 2, possibly, because otherwise it doesn't really make sense.
That's a great that's a great idea, because they have to shoot in a different country. They're not in Belfast, and that way they could probably throw in a little scene that they shoot in Belfast for budget reasons. So that could very well be what it is.
I'll say this is my only pushback on that, is throughout season 1, we did see, though, the story is it is completely told through Dunk's point of view. So if they add scenes, I wonder if are they going to break that, or are they going to just incorporate it in a way that we're still seeing it through his point of view, like we see, like Dunk and Egg maybe see people hunting for them, or there's some sort of, they meet up again or something like that. I don't know. It to me feels like how I felt almost at the end of House of the Dragon season 1. So this will be a spoiler for people who have not watched that show. Is I was not very keen of the accident of Luke's death. Now, I got talked down because I was like, wait, well, we don't know. We don't know what they're going to do for that character in the next season. And so by the time season 2 came around, I was like, oh, okay, wait, well, let's just see what happens. And that's maybe where I might be with Maekar at this point. After hearing you guys talk about it a little bit more, I just do think, though, for this season, it's fairly just not satisfying for Makar as a character, where we spend this entire episode is basically on Makar and the decision for Egg to go with Dunk. And so when you have a lot of build up to the idea of, why are Arian and Daron the way they are, and trying to convince Makar of that, and then by the end of it, it's like, oh well, seems like Egg just kind of ran off. It just is not very compelling to me of his character arc. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I think this will be something we revisit in season 2. But that's my general thoughts. Anything you guys want to add on to that or argue against or whatever before we move on?
I just feel like I'm not keen on Makar's overall representation in the series. I know a lot of people disagree because loads of people love Makar, and that's fine. But I just don't think I'm overly keen on how they've changed him as a character. I feel like I prefer book version of him, but they're got to change something. They always do with a TV adaptation. They don't make it exactly the same as the novels. I was expecting some people to feel different. But yeah, I just think his arc is interesting, to say the least.
Same.
Becky, would you say that you liked Makar more in this episode? Because in this episode, I think he is, outside of like maybe the last thing, but like consistently through the episode, I feel like this is the closest we got to the book, because so much of it is just dialogue straight from the novella.
Yeah, before I answer that, someone's become a member.
Oh, thank you, Princess Lioness. Appreciate the support and all of that. Go ahead, Becky.
Yeah, I liked Makar a little bit more in this episode because he did show a bit more compassion. We saw his softer side, whereas I feel like previously in the other episodes we've just seen him being kind of sassy, which I love a bit of sass, but only sass if it's funny, not sass if it's mean. And I feel like his was mean sass. But
yeah.
But in this episode, he was like a bit softer. Obviously, he's just lost his brother. That he's a kinslayer. There was deep conversations between him and Dunk. So I did like all that. And there was also a very moving scene actually when Egg was about to harm Arian, and Makar comes in and he just kind of puts his hands on his shoulders and kind of softly like leans him in almost for like a little hug. Like it was like comforting. And yeah, I really, really liked that. I just think it's the part where he was saying that he didn't want Egg to live as a peasant, and then obviously didn't know where he was at the end because he hadn't actually given his blessing for Egg to go away. I was a bit like, come on, man. Like, after everything that all your sons have been through, maybe this would have been a good opportunity for Egg. Maybe you should have just said, okay, like, I trust Dunk, he'll look after Egg. Let's go and give Egg a very different lifestyle. So yeah, it was, I did like him more in this episode, but I think it was just that ending where I'm a bit like, he's gone back to how I felt in the start.
Yeah, roller coaster of emotions. Especially, that's the thing, is like they even add scenes to make you feel like, okay, Makar should start to like, click it together. Oh, your son is about to murder your other son, and he's how old? That's the stuff I'm like, okay, this should be something that Makar's like, oh yeah, now the cogs are starting to turn. Now I get it. Now, okay. But that's not the way they went with it. So yeah. Anything else, Ricky? Closing thoughts? Anything you want to say before we move on?
Not really. You said it all.
Sounds good. I do want to get to more of a positive note to kind of balance it out. I think one of the better scenes that is kind of taken straight from the book, but they add a little bit to it, is we finally actually get to see Valar outside of just looking at him in awe, I guess. We get to actually have a conversation with him at Baelor's funeral. So I want to pass it to you, Ricky. What did you think about Valar's depiction and the scene he was in?
Great portrayal and great acting. I love the delivery of how many sons died, how many fathers died in their son's armor. It was a really good scene. I wish we would have gotten more, but that's how it should be, right? So it's I think that was perfectly done. Great actor.
Agreed. Moving on to you, Becky. Do you agree? Did you like the Valar scene?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think it's just a shame that we didn't see more of him, to be honest, in this series. But to be fair, we don't really in the novella anyway. But I think he was great. I just wish that actor had a bit more like screen time, because I think he played it perfectly.
Agreed. It's kind of the give and take of we're seeing the whole story through Dunk's eyes. and so that works in a lot of ways. And other times, you want to see a character more. I would have loved to have seen Daron more. I think that's another good segue into, we got an extra scene with Daron, which was great because I love his actor. I think he does such a great job. Gives me very Harry Lloyd of Viserys vibes from Game of Thrones season 1. But
Did you
like
know-
you guys, go ahead, Ricky.
Did you know that the guy who plays him, I think Henry Ashton is his name, auditioned for the role of Jon Snow in Game of Thrones?
I think I saw that on your social
Ooh.
media. That's pretty cool. You know what? Given he's
That
a great
would've been a
actor, I think he
great
would have
choice.
done. I think he would have done a really good job.
Yeah, I
would've been
could
a
see
great
that.
choice. Yeah.
But hey, he got to show up as Daron. Daron's also pretty cool. Much smaller
Yeah.
role, unfortunately. But hey, they gave him an extra scene. I liked his extra scene as well. It was another thing. It's just like it's building toward the idea of, Maekar switching maybe his thoughts and allowing Egg to go. It was a great scene. I like that the idea that they brought up that Aerion wasn't always this monster of who he is now. At one point, he was a kid. That's the kind of stuff I love because I personally, this is going to come out wrong, but I really like the character of Eris the Mad King just because he's not just mad. He doesn't start off mad. He starts out as a regular guy who had dreams, and then because of all this stuff, he turns into the Mad King. That's the kind of stuff I really like. So did you guys also like the Daron scene?
Yeah, I did. Again, I think that's another actor that's done brilliantly in this TV show. Like, we've got to give him credit where it's due. He did a fantastic job. And again, really deep dialogue through him and kind of adding layers to Aerion's character, even though Aerion had the easiest job ever in this episode because all he had to do was lie down for it. So yeah, he had an easy acting role.
Agreed. Ricky, you want to add to that? Or
Not
just
really,
reiterate
no,
what we said on
the same
Daron?
page. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. Great actor.
So now that we've balanced out the positive with the negative, because people don't like when we rag on the negative for a while, I do want to talk about one of the other controversial things that we talked about a little bit in our general thoughts. What did you guys think on the Arlen kind of flashback? It gave me more of like Vision vibes, but the Arlen and Dunk thing where it kind of comes out that Dunk seems to be he was not knighted.
Again, I don't like clarification here. I always love the, how ambiguous it was. It was really up for interpretation when really you always thought that, this didn't happen. He never got knighted. I'm not too crazy about it though. Like it's all right.
Yeah.
I'm more of more annoyed with Arlen in general. I think that was just an adaptation of all time.
Fair.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you, Ricky. I've kind of got the same thoughts. But Becky, moving on to you, anything else you want to say about that or differing opinion you might have?
Yeah, so I always prefer when they leave it ambiguous. And for a moment in that scene, I was starting to feel disappointed because I was like, oh, please don't let them confirm or deny whether or not Dunk has been knighted. I'd rather they just leave it open to whereas we can speculate. And I do actually feel like they still did that at the end because obviously there was that point where Arlen was basically just playing dead, and then he was like, psych, I'm actually alive. So it's at that point where I'm like, well, it is still kind of ambiguous because we still don't know whether or not Arlen knighted Dunk after that point, So like, if Arlen had like just died there, then obviously it's confirmed Dunk was never knighted because Arlen can't come back from the dead and knight him. But so yeah, I was kind of worried about that bit. But then I feel like because he then kind of just woke up again randomly, he did it. Like, it is still ambiguous in a way. It wasn't as ambiguous as it was before.
Yeah, that's a good point, Becky. I'm glad that you brought that up. It's not like in the concrete it's confirmed. It's just about as close as you could get without saying, yes, this is confirmed. So yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Becky.
It goes in line with the episode, right? Because the episode kind of repeats itself. It does that when you go by that. It does that with the knighting thing, where it could still, be a thing afterwards. And it also does that by that whole, well, I'm done with Princess, and then we get the adaptation of Dunk actually talking to Maker about being serious about, having Egg as a squire. So it goes in line with the episode too. I think that was kind of the point, probably.
Yeah, agreed. We could always just chalk it up to Becky is biased towards Arlen. We could always just chalk it up to that, Ricky, and just say no, it was confirmed.
Yeah, I just love every scene that Arlen is in.
Arlen's a cool guy. He's a cool guy, you know. I did see a comment I did want to bring up. So is this meant to be implied? This is what Mystery Junkie said. Arlen dies a few minutes later by the time the storm came in. Is that what it's implying
looks like
in the episode?
right?
That's what I thought, but I wasn't like 100% sure. Because again, when I rewatch it, I might have a better idea. But is that what they're trying to infer? Like he dies very soon after this point, or I wasn't even sure if it was like an actual exact flashback from Dunk. Like, is he just imagining all this stuff? Like, is it just his internal monologue or something? But I don't know. I don't know. Anything you guys want to say on that from that comment?
I mean, he looked like he was dying, so I definitely think he probably died like that day. He didn't look great. Either that or he was just, sleepy. But he looked kind of dying rather than sleepy, and there's a difference. So I think he probably did die that day. Whether or not he managed to whip in a little knighting of Dunk before he passed away, who knows?
Who knows? We don't know what Arlen could do. Arlen is a Chad. Get him some alcohol. Who knows what he's gonna do? He might do some sort of like.
He might be funny, haha.
Oh, you mean the thing Arlen does the whole show?
Yeah,
the funnies.
Hey,
they had me there for a second. We had a very serious scene, even though I didn't love the implications. It was a serious scene, and then they pulled a fast one on me. I was not expecting the funnies there. That's on me. But yeah. Becky, you touched on this earlier. We get a lot of extra stuff with Raymond Fossaway in the episode. So just, I guess, expanding your thoughts a little bit more. What did you think about Raymond Fossaway in the episode?
Yeah, I thought he was great, and he is definitely the character that wins. Like, he's gained so much from this show. He's gained a wife, apparently a child on the way. He's gained a horse. He's gained a new sigil. Like, he looked so happy. He's just he's the true winner, and I think most of the humor from this episode came through his scenes. I thought they were hilarious because they were all like new. Like these were all like additions that we don't know about. Like there's no source material for that. It was all additional scenes, and I think that they pulled it off really well. It landed in terms of the humor for me.
Hell yeah. I also loved him. Ricky, did you like Raymond the Chad of the finale?
Yeah, raising a Dondarian bastard. The actor.
He's being a good father, okay, Ricky. He's going to be a great dad.
I'm not judging here. I'm just
I know.
Pointing out the logistics of. I forgot it was kind of funny that, he went with it, like, oh yeah, sure, pregnant must be. Like,
yeah. Hey, Raymond's a little oblivious. Okay, he's just happy. All right, he's got a wife. He survived the trial of 7. He beat his cousin. He's living on cloud 9 right now. He's not thinking of the logistics. Who knows? Maybe we get a follow-up in season 2 when Raymond Fossaway is like, wait a minute, wait a second. I see what's going on.
Hold on. I also liked how he defended Dunk when the Targaryen guards showed up. Another great scene of his.
Agreed. I'm pretty much same thoughts as you guys. I loved Raymond in this episode. I think he was a standout of the season for me. I liked a lot of the additions outside of one scene of him laughing at Egg's trauma dump. But outside of that, I thought he was a very good built upon character in the show. Something I did not have. Well, I had it written down, but I didn't have it like this written down. But Zaz asked, how did you guys feel about Lionel talking down on Baylor? Becky, what did you think on kind of basically the open? Because that's basically the open up of the episode.
Yeah, obviously it hurts because I love Baylor, but actually he made a point where he said like Baylor was going into a fight where like the King's Guard weren't going to harm him. So like his trial, the version of his trial was a lot easier per se than the others who were going in fighting, doing the trial of 7. So in a way, he kind of knew what he was getting himself into a little bit. I don't think he expected to die. I don't think anybody expected him to die. And I don't like any hate on Baylor. I think obviously Lionel just hates him, doesn't he? Like he's not a fan. So I don't like that he was talking that way about Baylor, but actually when he was saying about how the King's Guard can't hurt him, I thought, well, yeah, to be fair, he didn't risk all that much going into it because he knew he wasn't going to get hurt by like half the people in the trial.
Yeah, yeah. But hey, we know in Baylor's defense, we know he's a good guy. We know, he's very chivalrous. Right? Ricky, thoughts on the kind of the open of the episode?
Great setup for the future if they go that far. And yeah, if not, then it's a great send off for this character. Very memorable,
Another one of the best of the season. Fantastic. The actor who
Sure.
played him did a great job. The added scenes they did for him was really awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot of on the nose foreshadowing to a video I might have made like a week or two ago, wink wink, about a certain rebellion. But yeah, there was a lot there that I really enjoyed. I think Lionel Baratheon would be a great Blackfire supporter, so maybe he should think about that. I know they're just another Targaryen offshoot, but they'll do better. Okay, they'll rule way better than these Targaryen guys. I'm just saying. I really did like that. They also added in the idea that Dunk basically has two offers. He was a pretty hot free agent. He could have gone to Summerhall, could have gone to Storm's End. I do like that they also just kind of reinforce the idea that Dunk kind of wants to find his own path. He doesn't want to just latch on to these other people, especially because it'll be attached to the Trial of Seven, something he frankly is not going to want to remember. I also loved that little addition there as well. Did you guys like that as well? Because them adding in the idea that Dunk might have been able to go with Lionel.
I liked that, to be fair. I thought as well, like they've definitely made Dunk and Lionel's relationship different in this TV show, and that was like, straight from episode 1 with the additional scenes in the pavilion and the party and everything. Like, I think they've definitely changed the dynamic of their relationship, but I'm liking it.
Great. Ricky, anything else you want to add to that before we move on?
Same. I like it overall. Early on, I just had a few, gripes with Dunk having a highborn friend that he can just go to, but then they, they played it off like, Lionel doesn't really remember. He's like this funny tall guy. He just plays tug of war with. They had to add because of the TV format, and it would feel like nitpicking if I talk too much about that. How do you feel about the jazz music?
Yeah.
So
random. So some German fella, warns me about that. But I don't know. I feel very, I don't know. I've only watched it once. And so like, I didn't have a problem when I watched it, but I, at the same time was not like, wow, this is really great either. So that's a to be determined from me on a rewatch. Becky, what did you think?
It was just so random. Like it didn't, like the emotions I felt, it didn't fit. Like how music can change the way that you feel, and like if there's a sad scene and there's sad music, it'll probably make me cry even more. It felt like my emotions and the music playing were on completely different wavelengths. It was very, very weird.
Yeah, I'll say that it was an odd choice. I'll leave it at that. It was an odd choice to start the episode, but I thought it was okay. We'll see.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me too much, but yeah. So anything else that stuck out to you guys from this episode? Because after this, I want to talk a little bit about how we view the season and all that kind of stuff, and we can kind of give our episode like ratings, all that stuff. Anything you guys want to talk about though before we get to rating the episode?
No, looking over my notes, I think that's it.
All right, so I guess I'll go to you, Ricky. What is your rating for the finale? What do you give it?
I give it a 7. And again, I think I rated this one, I listed this as my least favorite. But it's still a very good episode. And I think that speaks for season 1 as a whole. It's a really good season of television. It's a good adaptation of the source material. And yeah, I like the episode.
I think that's fair. Becky, what would you give the rating for the finale?
Yeah, I liked it as well. It was what I was expecting, mellow, just conversations, setting up things for season 2 and tying up some loose ends in this episode. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was easy watching. It wasn't like tense at all. So I'll probably give it about an 8, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same wavelength as you guys. I'd probably give it an 8 as well. I think there was, I mean, honestly, I think up until the last scene, I actually probably would have given the episode a little bit higher, but then it kind of pulled it back down a little bit. So yeah, I say 8 out of 10. I think it was still a very good episode, good ending, and we'll kind of see what they have to do with season 2. I believe this is my second lowest rated episode. I think I have this a little ahead of episode 1. But that kind of leads me to talking about the season overall. And I want to ask both of you guys, what do you think the season did well? What do you think maybe it can improve on for season 2? Ricky, you can go ahead and start.
It's a good show. I'll always have my gripes with the way they incorporate humor, but I think, right now it's too late. Like it's that is the way that they're gonna do it, and season 2 is probably gonna be heavy, with that. A lot of fart jokes and stuff, and they are in the books and in the novellas. So, yeah, I really like the show. I think it's a fresh breath of air, and I'm excited to see season 2. I'm not like, I think I gotta explain why I am so careful with my words. It's because these are novellas mean the world to me. Like, these are the best thing that George R. R. Martin has written. So they never had a chance. I would never sit here and be like, yeah, this show is the absolute best thing that ever happened. When in reality, I should be grateful, that they are as faithful as they are, because we've seen how that goes usually. So yeah, it's a good show. It's a really, really good show. And
Yep. Go ahead, Ricky. Continue. I was sure if
those,
you were going to
those, are
stop.
kind of, those are kind of my thoughts. Like, my favorites, my highlights of the season are Dunk. I really, really like Peter Claffey's interpretation. I really enjoyed Daron. I loved Raymond Fossaway. Yeah.
Good thoughts. And we'll head over to Becky. What are your general thoughts on season 1? Things they did well, things they maybe can look to improve on. It's going to be hard to do given they're already filming season 2, but, give a little feedback, I guess.
Yeah, so I basically completely agree with Ricky that the novellas are just pure perfection. I went into the show with lower expectations than it deserved, and so for me, it did exceed expectations because I went into it being excited, but also thinking I'm probably not going to feel the same satisfaction that I felt when I read the novellas. But I have had moments of that, like many, many moments where I felt like this is Dunk and Egg. This is exactly who they are to me. This is Baylor, and they really expanded on a lot of really important things as well, like Lionel Baratheon, Raymond Fossaway. I think the only thing that I would have benefited more from was just for us to see some of the other people in the trial, like the Humphreys. I feel like we could have benefited from just seeing them a little bit more. And I liked the humor. I think some of it was maybe in the wrong place. Like in really serious scenes, in serious moments, maybe they could have taken some of the humor out of those scenes. I don't think they need humor every single scene, if that makes sense. But otherwise, the majority of it landed with me, and I really, really liked it. Like, I will definitely rewatch the show as like a comfort show for me. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with how they did it.
Yeah, I agree with you, both of you guys, for the most part. I did get a super chat. I'm a little confused on if you're asking or you're saying, is this the best adaptation so far in terms of like this show versus the other seasons, or in terms of what is your favorite adaptation from this show in terms of characters besides Sir Arlen the Long? If we're asking in terms of the characters, I think the character of Dunk, they did perfectly. It's literally the exact way I view the character in the novella. Perfect. You could throw in Baylor in there as well. Egg,
Yeah,
Arian. I
totally
mean,
forgot about Baylor.
the acting are
He's
so good. The actors are so good in this show that it's hard to
incredible.
like pick one. But go ahead, Ricky, if you wanted to say any more on
Yeah,
that.
just wanted to add that because I forgot about Baylor, and I think that was just he knocked it out of the park.
He's dead. He's been dead for one episode, and Ricky already forgot about him.
Yeah,
Shame. But yeah, I'll say I think that the show, for very different reasons, kind of feels like House of the Dragon season 1, but for completely different reasons to me. I think it was a very good start to the show. I think it was adapted pretty well overall. There were things that I liked, didn't like, and a lot of that came down to, I think, a lot of the added scenes were pretty good. I think the characterizations were good. Everything you come to expect out of Game of Thrones shows was there. The acting, cinematography. I just think there were moments, there were hiccups throughout almost every episode that I was just like, why did we make this joke here? Why did we do this? And parts of it is, so for instance, some of our complaints for like episode 5 was largely because of budget. They can't show the Trial of Seven, or how they handled it. And so I kind of feel the same way I felt about House of the Dragon season 1, but for different reasons. Because House of the Dragon season 1, I was very excited. I enjoyed the first season a ton, but it had those problems. It had those things where I was like, well, the whole episode was great, and then we get to the final part of it, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't know why we did that. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel for different reasons. Like they're very different. I think in Night of the Seven Kingdoms, both of its strength and sometimes its weakness was we're telling the story explicitly through Dunk. And so that limits what you can add to the story at times. Like you can't go to like Makar and Baylor talking, or you can't go to Valar or any of these other characters. You're focused on Dunk. And so sometimes that's a strength. You get these great scenes with Dunk and Egg on a hill and them talking and all that kind of stuff. That's great. Other times it kind of feels like it can be dragging at times because they're trying to fill a lot of time. So I thought it was a very good, strong first season that I think exceeded even HBO's expectations in terms of bringing people in, interest, word of mouth about it. So I think a strong season 1. So anything else you guys want to talk about with regards to the show, with season 1, this episode? Because I know somebody asked a question, and Ricky also wanted to talk about it on the live stream about House of the Dragon, because that trailer just came out. So
I wanted to talk about House of the Dragon. That's a stretch.
Ricky said, when I asked both Becky and Ricky, I've been doing this for like 2 or 3 weeks, what do they want to talk about on the stream? And I have a little bullet points we go down. Ricky said, I want to talk about House of the Dragon season 3's trailer. So I will not be manipulated. That's what you said.
I
Don't
know,
be a
I know,
tricksy
I know,
little
I know.
old town guy.
No, I was not implying that you were,
No, I know, Ricky. I'm
lying.
messing with you,
But,
like you mess with me all the time.
It's more like Eric asked me about my thoughts about the House of the Dragon season 2 trailer, and I thought that I would leave it for the stream because I don't have much to say. But we'll get to that.
So before we get to that, Becky, Ricky, you guys, anything else you want to say? Any closing remarks about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms for our coverage on it throughout the episodes in the season?
I feel like we've covered it. I feel like we've covered maybe everything. I'm just happy with how it went. Yeah, it's been a good start to the year watching that.
I agree.
Yeah,
This is actually a good point, Ricky, as well, that we could address. Besides season 1 of Game of Thrones, I think this is the best page-to-screen adaptation. Would you guys agree? Or disagree?
Yeah, definitely. It's all there. It's just mixed with like a flavor that I didn't enjoy at times, but it's a great adaptation.
Agreed. Becky, do you agree?
Agreed. Yeah, and I think anything that they've not changed drastically. It's not changed the course of the story, and I feel like they've mainly just changed some stuff, maybe to fill up the additional time that they've been given for such a short novella. So yeah, I think it probably is. I mean, it's definitely as close to the Hedge Knight novella as you can possibly get.
Yeah.
Agreed. I mean, 95% of the novella is in there. I mean, the dialogue's ripped straight from it. I will say I still do like how Matthew said. I still think Game of Thrones season 1 is the only one I'd probably put above it in terms of the Game of Thrones universe thus far. I think it's better than season 2, season 3, season 4, because as much as like I think those are great seasons, I don't think they actually are the best adapted. They cut out plot lines and stuff like again. I think season 3 and season 4 and season 2 are probably better than A Night of the Seven Kingdoms overall. But I think if we're looking at it from a straight adaptation process,
sorry for my crazy eyes.
I got a preference.
What are you talking about?
Because people, okay, that brings up a larger point. Okay.
Okay, well.
That brings up a larger point. There's a lot of like high ratings, a lot of like Night of the Seven Kingdoms may be better than those early seasons of Game of Thrones. So do you want to talk about that, Ricky? Since you had a very strong reaction.
I think this is like
broken.
It's like a movie, If this would be a movie, then I still couldn't compare. It's hard to compare. It's so different. It's meant to be different. I am very, very fond of the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, even the 4th one being, in terms of the adaptation, being very questionable at times. But I think they did a great job at adapting for season 4, even with the changes, because I like them most of the times. But yeah. We always tend to compare when in reality we could just, take them as separate things and enjoy them for that. So, yeah.
We're not allowed to do that anymore, Ricky.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, Duncan Egg completely wipes the field.
Come on, old man. Go on social media. You know what it's like.
Come on, old man. Yeah. Getting
Becky, anything you want to add to that on the discussion of Game of Thrones, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, House of the Dragon comparisons, all that?
Yeah, I feel like, to be fair, I feel like if the turn was different, people probably would be comparing it like way differently to Game of Thrones. I think it's because this one, like, we have to take this one differently. The tone's so different. There's so much humor in there, and there's like so many and obviously the episodes are so much shorter. It feels more lighthearted. So I'm kind of viewing it as its own separate thing, which I'm allowed to do because I'm strong and I can have my own opinions. So I'm allowed to do that.
Oh yeah.
But obviously, like, I can say A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is brilliant, and also say Game of Thrones seasons 1 to 4 is brilliant. Like, they can both be fantastic. That it doesn't mean that only one can be, if that makes sense.
Wait, Becky, are you saying you don't like season 5 and 6?
That's a topic for a different live stream.
Good point. That's a good political answer right there. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. So yeah, let's with that being said, let's transition to another show. House of the Dragon season 3 dropped their trailer this week. This past week, I guess, however you want to say it. And yeah, so Ricky, I think you're the only one of the 3 of us that has not given your thoughts on it. So what do you got to say on it? We know how much you love season 2.
And that is due to a very specific reason. So I think this makes for an interesting contrast to Dunkin' Egg, because I was always like nitpicky with Dunkin' Egg, but overall I really liked it. So I just was just voicing my opinion. I can't really do that for House of the Dragon, because usually what I do when trailers drop is I try to immediately watch it on the biggest screen that I have available. I watched this fuck-ass trailer on Twitter on my phone once, and I don't give a fuck about the show anymore. It's just the same fucking thing again. It's like immediately, oh yeah, Allison is gonna open the gates. Oh, you can't trust her. It's like, whatever, man. I'm gonna watch it. It could be good, but I don't have the energy right now. It's like, whatever.
I saw a little bit of Ricky the Cruel in this stream.
Just drop your silly trailer and just remind me of the void you left me with after watching and really being invested in what you were doing at first. So I'm not doing that again. I'm not covering it. I'm not doing breakdowns of this and being like, oh yeah, well, this is the scary moment where Jace is kind of flying, and like, fuck off. No. Duncan Egg is so much better than this shit. Fuck off. I'm sorry.
Ricky, are you telling me you're not going to make videos on this show? This is breaking news. What?
No, I'm not covering.
I know.
I might jump on a live stream or two with you.
Might? You mean might? We have to have the unhingedness at like 5 in the a.m. Like, it's not going to be the same if you're not there, Ricky.
Oh,
you might not love the you might not love the show, but you love us, so you gotta be there. That's how we guilt you into it.
Thing is, I don't want to be there. Like, again, people can enjoy what they want, and I don't want to be the guy that tells them they're wrong for it. So, some people, whatever. It's I will definitely not review the show as I did in the past.
As Ricky's translator, he's really trying to tell you are wrong. All right. Moving on. So, Becky, you did a reaction to the season 3 trailer. Anything? What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts on it?
Well, I'm hopeful. Yeah, I'm more hopeful than season 2 because I think there has to be juicy plots. Like, there has to be. And especially in the first couple of episodes, like, please, we do need these plots in here. So I'm hopeful for season 3. I am excited for it just because it's another show. And, I know you both absolutely hated House of the Dragon season 2. I didn't hate it. Hate's a strong word. Disappointed, but not detest. So I am still excited for season 3, but just nowhere near as much as I was for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I like this.
Zaz is doing some really good marketing, better than us. So you're doing a great job, Zaz. We appreciate you. Yeah. I mean, House of the Dragon season 2 ended in an interesting way for me and Ricky. I recorded my last members only video at like midnight in a very like depressed like tone. So that yeah. I mean. I covered it with JC. We went the whole scene by scene. We're gonna dive in type thing.
Man.
And I don't think I'm at like Ricky level where I'm like, just screw everything. I want to see what they want to do. But I do think my investment is much lower. Like I think I'm just kind of here for the ride now. My expectations have gone from, I really hope the show is really well written to like, I just want to be entertained. Just entertain me for like 50 minutes. If I'm entertained, then I got enough out of it. I'm just going to kind of turn my brain off a little bit because how we got here is a little whack, but that's who I've become, Ricky. That's who I've become in House of the Dragon. Totally different guy. It's going to be Grease the Peaceful during our House of the Dragon streams.
Hell no. They're going to change it that you don't even expect. And like, what did I see? Like Arion Baratheon? Like, what are you talking about? Who the fuck is Aaron Baratheon?
Hey,
they're gonna do stuff like that, and you're gonna be Grease the Cruel again.
See, this is what I'm talking about, Becky, though, because Ricky's still interested. Because I didn't know that Ricky's online learning about the House of the Dragon stuff. I didn't even know that was
on my feed.
Well, it means you're interested.
I'm still seeing it. I'm still
the
reading.
The feed shows you things you're interested. You might be a hate watcher now, is what you are.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. I'm not trying to be a cunt and make like videos about
Ricky. You know,
videos about like this show sucks, and then like I'm like, okay.
I think you should make a whole channel out of just saying, I hate everything.
Nah.
I say okay, but here's the thing. I say
Coughlin Canada, like that fucking critical cunt man.
Yes, you're right.
I'll say this though. Has women in it.
Ricky,
fuck off.
I will be like you as soon as they do something that like, because Damon and Allison to me, I already had my crash outs. So those characters, if they do something crazy, I'm like, it's me. They don't function anyway. But if they do, like Rhaenyra's not there yet. If they start doing some things where I'm like, that's when the crash out will happen. That's
it's only a matter of time. It'll happen.
Like episode 1 opens and. Oh god,
you guys are getting a great like prelude to our After House the Dragon streams.
I have the great prelude. So if anything, those early episodes should be very eventful and very cool. So
We hate watch so much we drag JC from being the neutral party all the way down to our level, Ricky. Becky, that's what you have in store.
I can't wait.
You will be like
I'm
the
more
voice of
excited for that.
positivity.
this is such a funny comment. You just gotta turn your brain off, bro.
That's so accurate.
That's true. It's true. But it's like, is an adaptation of material from the world of Ice Sapphire really meant to be viewed like that? Like, usually it's very engaging
Ricky.
and like.
No. It's dragons. Didn't you see how many dragons were in the trailer? You just. That side note, Tessarion looked very good in the trailer. Beautiful looking. You got to give the art department a lot of props. But I can't even give positive.
What else is in store? What else is in store? The music is awesome. The $20 million per episode show actually looks really good.
I got a big talking point. House of the Dragon, their marketing is so much better than A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Yeah. Like where was this for Night of the Seven Kingdoms? I have friends that didn't know where the show was.
Why did they do that though?
Don't know. But
I think the budget was, you can't throw like a House of the Dragon marketing budget on a show that has like a 1/10 of the per episode budget probably. So they're like, here's a trailer, here's another one, bye. And for House of the Dragon, they go out where I feel like we've seen that before though, like the what is it at London, the bridge, the very infamous bridge with the banner.
Oh, the recent one that they just did. Yeah, but it looked really weird. It looked like AI.
Yes, a bit odd. Yes. It's another thing that I think we're probably gonna get not used to.
But it was still cool looking. It was more than A Night of the Seven Kingdoms gave us. Hey, I'm trying to find some positivity in this show, okay? I'm trying to be That's fine. Becky, it's just me and you now. We can just talk about, like, Becky, what do you want to talk about? I've yapped a lot, so like what do you want to talk about? What are you working on right now, Becky?
What am I working on?
Like video wise. What's the plan?
Trying to find some content ideas now that A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is finished. And yeah, that's it.
Can I recommend you react to the Joffrey is a good guy uncut, and then when you finish season 6 and/or 7, just watch the Ramsay one too. I think that'd be some great reaction material.
I don't know if I trust you.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just taking clips from the show and putting them into a video. There's no commentary on it. It's yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, okay. I guess Becky will not be there to debunk that Joffrey is a good guy. I guess it'll just live on.
Hey, I don't support it. I don't support the theory.
It's a bit weird. You're always defending Viserys, Maegor, Joffrey.
I don't defend Joffrey. Okay, I don't defend Joffrey. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've seen the
video
out
Joffrey. It sounds like you're defending Joffrey.
Well, he had a rough childhood. Okay, all right. Okay, so Night of the Seven Kingdoms is allowed to defend Aerion having, a troubled past, but I can't say Joffrey might have had a little troubled past.
I'm not.
His actions were his own. He made some bad decisions, and he was an awful human being. But he did have Cersei as a mother.
I'm not saying you can or can't say anything about Joffrey. It's just a very weird thing to defend him.
There's no defending. It's called understanding.
Oh, yeah. Which implies that we're not understanding Joffrey, right?
You're not understanding. You're just not getting it. Okay, so this is the next video I got to do. Why you're wrong about Joffrey? That right there.
Well, there it is.
That won't be coming out.
There you go.
I can't put my name behind that.
What about Ollie?
Never coming out.
Do you understand Ollie? Do you know where he's coming from? Oh God.
Well, he's gone now.
Ollie's
smiling in the at the bottom there.
How dare you bring up Ollie? How care. We all
Well,
know he is just an asshole.
You like defending these people. I just thought he was right up your street.
You know what? I'll be one of your viewers, and they leave in the comments. Ollie, he also had a troubled. Things were happening. His village got slaughtered. His mother and father got killed. So he got threat. I mean, actually, the Fens were gonna ate the corpses of his. Yeah. Okay. You know what? There's
That's also a
reasons.
decision of all time to make the Fens out of all the branches.
We're not talking about that right now, Ricky. We're talking about Ollie. I see how you're trying to shift the narrative. Okay.
Yeah, but like,
go ahead.
there's always these, like, when you remember how much they changed for no reason at all, it's like a little throwback. Like, I remember watching season four, it was four, yeah, and being irritated by the decision to make the Fens fucking cannibals.
Well, they made that decision, and Ollie suffered because of it. Ollie didn't ask to be in the show. He was just put into the show. In the books, he's just some guy we never hear about.
Yeah, the actor didn't to be there. They just dragged him onto the set. We're like, you're Ollie.
And then some things happen. Jon Snow starts being progressive and trying to give rights to the wildlings, and then things just happen. And then he helps murder a guy, and then he gets hanged. That was my best shot. That was my best shot of defending Ollie. Subscribe for
just
more.
Saying. Not going to say the word, but just saying.
Yeah. People have troubled pasts, but that does not mean that excuses their actions. There you go. That's the moral of this segment of the stream, and that's how you can tell it is like 5 a.m. for Becky. It's like, what is it, 7 a.m. for you, Ricky?
It's 6, 7, yeah. It's 5:50. I'm sorry. Yeah, Matthew, I'm saying, like, this is such an odd choice. This is like making the Lannisters the poorest house in Westeros. Like, such a very specific odd choice that they went for, because there was no reason to do that. Well, like, on top of the
there was Ollie's backstory.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, on top of them raiding the village anyway, why did you have to make them? I'm gonna eat your papa. Like, what is going on? Like, that's such
How did you do that so
weird
well?
choice. I remember.
Now I'm gonna imagine like Ricky's like been in the bathroom rehearsing that line.
Yeah. Wow,
like
you'd make a good one. You'd make a good Fen.
You make a good.
I think that's a compliment. It was meant to be a compliment.
Thank you. It depends, like, book version, or am I also just a random ass cannibal for no reason?
No, you're a cannibal.
Yeah. You give cannibal energy. Is that what you give?
Mm-hmm.
I am actually the dragon cannibal in season 3 of House of the Dragon.
But you're also the Night King, so how does that work?
Well, make a theory video on that.
We already have. We literally did the video together. What do you mean make a theory on it? The video is titled "Who is the Night King" or whatever, and the intro is literally "I am the Night King" and it's you.
Well, why are you asking?
Theory debunked. End of video.
Had a trouble past of having to Man, it's been a wild ride. Hey, hello. Thing is, I really enjoyed episode 6 of that season, so I was kind of back in, like, before the Dragon Seeds episode, and I liked parts of that, and then episode 8 just crushed me.
Oh, that's really sad.
It was actually episode 7 when we had the Avengers moment at the end.
Oh yeah, Aemon is flying. It's like,
and then we got completely destroyed. Ricky, that was the live stream we got completely destroyed. The comments were like, "These guys, they're nitpicking," and then all the same people came back.
Which is what I'm saying, right? I don't want to be that guy for people. Like, people click and they want to hear you say something that kind of reflects their view, or want to discuss, and then they have two guys who just lose it over everything. So I don't want to be that guy for season 3. I want you guys to enjoy it, and then I'll hop in every once in a while and talk about that.
Sorry, Ricky, I was debunking a theory while you were talking.
Sorry, what was it? What do you guys think of Damon Target? Oh, yeah. I mean, that is an actual theory, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a theory.
I think Aaron Baratheon is the Night King, personally.
All right, I think we need to end the stream. We're like spiraling now. I don't even know what's
delusional. We've gone
This is
crazy.
what happens when JC's not here, like the balance of power, and then we just all
Yeah.
shift out of control. But
He's like the very level one. He's like
probably go
very
back to
level.
comments.
Oh, JC texted me his thoughts. He wanted to tell you guys that it was the worst episode of all of Game of Thrones, everything, that he absolutely hates it.
Yeah,
He totally
that sounds like
texted me.
something he would say.
Mm-hmm. He said that everybody in the show is bad. So yeah, well, yeah, he's not here, so sometimes I gotta fill in for him, and that's just what he would say.
I heard that he rated it 1 out of
ahead,
10.
Becky.
Yeah, I heard that 1 out of 10 was his rating.
Yeah, I heard the same. For anyone that can't figure that sarcasm,
Yeah.
Shoot, we got exposed. Shut the stream down. Shut the stream down. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys all for sticking with us for coverage.
Hey, we gotta talk about this real quick before we end this.
Okay.
You know the guy that never gets invited to parties? That's Ricky. Becky always gets invited to parties. Why is that, huh?
Can we actually get a counter?
Like
how many Ricky, how many
show.
parties have you been in the last month? And I'll ask Becky the same thing, and we'll actually get to the bottom of this, because this is very important.
Oh.
0.
You are an old man. Becky, what about you?
Oh,
0.5. 0.5.
Well,
so Becky still wins. She got a half. So half a party.
Mark,
still got invited.
You are right. You win.
Well,
just.
I'm glad that was a conversation. Again, getting back to the point for everybody else. Thank you guys for hanging in with us for season 1, and we'll hopefully be back for House of the Dragon, and we'll see how that goes. It was a great time. We thank you guys all for your support, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
It's been fun. Bye. See you around.
Bye.